Welcome back to It's Time Picks. We've got UFC 297 Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis, and as well as another title card. I think this is vacant, isn't it? Pennington versus Buena Silva.
Mm-hmm.
Vacant title for that. Uh, Buena Silva's last fight against Holly Holm, she crushed her and then got a no contest due to some bullshit drug shit. And then Strickland beat Izzy in his last fight to win that belt. Dricus beat up on Bobby Knuckles in horrible fashion. What do you feel about this card, Joey?
Well, first pay-per-view of the year, it's in Canada. It should be exciting.
Yes.
When I was going through, there's actually some more better fights than I thought on paper. So I think, or I should expect probably a good amount of finishes in this card.
I agree. Probably half the fights will end up in a finish at least.
Yeah, I can see that.
But all right, let's jump right into it. First fight, we got Malcolm Gordon against Jimmy Flick. And I will let you take this one first.
So before I did my full breakdown, I was thinking, look, these two are the most bottom tier guys at 125. Jimmy Flick would probably get knocked out by a paper bag floating in the air in the wind.
Jimmy Flick would get knocked out by Jason Witt.
Well, I hope so. Jason Witt's like a 170, but I'm going Malcolm Gordon. I think Malcolm Gordon is the more well-rounded guy. He's the more athletic guy. Yes, both guys don't got chins, but is Jimmy Flick really going to worry about somebody in the feet? No. I don't think Jimmy Flick can punch himself out of a bag. The only way he does, he better try to pull guard, because even his wrestling's not good. I'm sorry, if you're that high type of intelligence in jiu-jitsu, how the hell are you going to tell me you can't even get a traditional takedown? I never understand it. Is a one-dimensional type of guy, but look, 14 wins is still impressive out of 16. But I think Malcolm Gordon within the first 2 rounds is going to find a way to finish this fight.
Yeah, I wish I didn't have to pick somebody for this fight because
I didn't.
it's pitiful. You got two bottom tier fighters. Jimmy Flick, like you said, he couldn't punch his way out of anything. He
No.
is a one trick pony. It's all grappling or nothing. Malcolm Gordon does have a little bit of grappling. He's also got a little bit of wrestling and he's got the better striking. So my choice is Gordon. I don't like it,
Just
but
know this. If he would have had at least 30 more seconds, there is a good chance Gordon was gonna potentially get the jaw lock on Makayev. Maybe
yes,
30 seconds.
I don't know. We've
If he
seen
would have he could have worked
escape.
it. It was tight.
We've seen Makayev escape ridiculous
Makayev just
shit.
don't tap. That's his problem. And sooner or later, that's gonna like that knee bar he was in. Ugh.
But he did, he did fight well against him, but then he came out and got smacked by Hadley. So luckily in this fight, Flick has like no power at all. So
No.
not much to worry about there. But both of us going with Malcolm Gordon. Next up, we've got Jasmine Jasudavicius against Priscilla Cachoeira. I have gone, I think, against Jasmine in like every fight. I'm not doing that this time. Uh, Cachoeira always has that chance to, knock out. That's pretty much what she does. That's all she does. All she goes for is that knockout. And in this fight, it's going to be Jasuda Vicious putting her on her ass and just keeping her there for 15 minutes. I don't see it finishing this fight. And the score is going to really come down to how many takedowns Jasmine can get. And in this case, if it's, I mean, what you could see in this one is she gets a takedown in the first minute and she just keeps Priscilla on her back for 4 minutes. It's not the most time in the or most points in the world unless she's throwing strikes at the same time. So this is kind of a bit of a trap fight because Jasmine's also the highest price fighter. Not something I want to go with, but I'm on Jasmine.
This is probably one of the most easiest fights for me to pick. I'm going Jasmine. And honestly, I think this fight could play somewhat similarities to Cachoeira and Maverick. Maverick had no problem taking it down, but Maverick's the better power striker. And she had almost 9 minutes of control. And if it wasn't for Mazzani's bad gas tank, I think she could have broke the takedown record in that fight. Um, Jasmine, crazy thing is Jasmine has a little bit of jiu-jitsu. Would it shock me if she does ground and pound and can maybe get snatch the neck? It wouldn't shock me. Because like I said, Cachoeira is somewhat one-dimensional. There's a fish off her back. But yeah, you just got to think about it. There's a other lot of 9K options. If you think Jasmine can take down, repeat, and just control. But here's the thing, though. Yes, DraftKings loves takedowns. DraftKings loves control. but you at least want a little bit of ground and pound. You want at least some strikes going in there, because if not, let's say she has what, four or
Well,
five takedowns,
the most she's had in a fight is four. She's done it twice.
and there's a chance, depending if Cachoeira's takedown defense has got better, if she gets up, it could go over four. The highest I've seen Cachoeira get takedown was Manzani, 4 takedowns in the first round. I'm on Jasmine. You got to see how lines look, because there's some other guys and fighters underneath her that could potentially score more if she doesn't get a finish with it, maybe, or even have total strikes. But she's definitely your cash play. GPP, you can move stuff around, but there might be some other fighters I like for GPP.
I agree. Both of us going with the favorite in Jasudavicius. Next up, we have Johan Lainez against Sam Patterson. Who you got in this one?
So we have Johan, Sam Alvey, Liness. Crazy thing, he can look. I don't get it. I seen him outside the UFC. He can throw hands. Then I don't understand what his volume is. I don't know if he went to a new camp. I don't know what. Now he doesn't want to punch. And I'm sorry, he shouldn't even be in the UFC right now because he didn't beat Darian Weeks. That was one of the worst calls I've seen in a while. I'm doing the trade one more time. I'm going Sam Patterson. He's well rounded. Yes, your durability. You got chin checked by a dude that looked like he popped off the Lucky Charms box and caught him. But look, he's well rounded. Ness has no takedown defense. And honestly, after 1.5 in the round, he does tend to slow down, and he does not want to throw. He will stand in front of you, but he will not throw. I'm going Sam Patterson. I think he gets back in the win column.
I think you're out of your freaking mind.
I'm not. Look, if you told me that this man wasn't so low volume, where in a win he only scored in the 30s for DraftKings in a win, bro, I could throw more punches in 2 minutes than what he did in that round, in that fight, and score 30.
I don't disagree.
Like,
But Sam
if you told
Patterson,
me, if he told me straight up, I'm going in there for the kill, yes, backyard. Could be even more. Does he fight better in his backyard? We'll see. Or does he show up like, oh shit, if I don't show up, not only could I lose, not only could I possibly, I'm not saying it's full, but it's possible, because Sam Patterson does have, 90% finish rate, and he's primarily a long grappler. And if Liness does say Liness gets cracked, he's like, you know what? I'm not standing. I'm going to try to shoot. Patterson's long limbs could catch him in a choke. And I think as long as if Patterson minds his P's and Q's and doesn't brawl a brawler, because that's the only one-dimensional shot he has, don't brawl a brawler. That's the number one rule. Mix it up, throw kicks, use your length, which I hate to say, from what I've seen, he doesn't use his length for shit. That's the one thing that does scare me. But as long as he just minds his P's and Q's, he can win this fight. He's more well-rounded. And I think he can even get a later finish once Johan is absolutely doesn't want to throw anything. I can't pick a guy that does that low volume. Especially one-dimensional, no. Could he always, decide that I'm going to go Sam Alley for the first 2 minutes and crack him? Absolutely. But this is more of your potential GPP fight. I think someone does get finished in this fight. I'm going the dog money one more time with Patterson. Yeah, he got caught with it. He threw a lazy kick, got caught by a short leprechaun. And I think he's
you
gonna
better
bounce
watch
back.
out. Ashmore's gonna come and fucking murder you in your sleep.
Look, didn't we both pick him too? Not Patterson. We picked Ashmore. I thought maybe he would have had more of a wrestling approach. I didn't expect him to land a Hail Mary, Shane Carwin overhand and drop his ass. But hey, Ashmore would kick my ass though. He'd out wrestle me.
That is for damn sure.
Oh yeah.
So I would agree with you on a few of those points. Patterson is probably the better finisher of the two, but
Yep.
I cannot trust somebody that looked that fucking
He just threw
stiff.
one lazy strike that got him caught, unfortunately.
And it's the same thing that could happen in this fight.
He could. One thing I will say is he was getting some good training partners in this fight. He worked with Venom Page. So
It is a good
Venom's
one.
probably saying, hey, don't throw no
But
lazy kick.
you can train all you want. It's not going to fix your chin.
I know. He's not in the cage with you.
So
But it's
I
good to
don't.
see the
I
kind of
either way, I didn't want to play this fight either way. I didn't really care for it. I'm going with the favorite just because he
low confidence, I
if he
guess.
would if he were to come out and fight how he did in his prior promotion,
Or even
I would
contender series.
well that
He's
fight
let his hands fly.
ended that in a minute 40. So I mean that's not really saying a whole lot. But over at when he was fighting cage fighters, he looked way better than he does now.
Yes.
So I think a little bit of it's kind of just that just like Manel Cop, how he came in and his first two fights were just dick. I think he comes out and just smashes Patterson this fight.
If he actually lets his hands go, absolutely. And I'm not saying Patterson's my 10 for 10 most confident dog, I'm saying, but to
Right.
me, at least he's the more dangerous out of the two.
That's fair. But we are split on that pick. I've got the favorite in Lennes. You've got the dog in Patterson. Next up, we have Jillian Robertson versus Polyana Viana. And I don't think there's a single fight where I have not taken Polyana, and I will continue to take Polyana. And I actually almost did take Robertson in this fight. And the big reason is Viana likes to get herself in really bad situations, which is how she lost her last fight to what's her name? Uh, Lucindo. She
Yes.
got she got submitted with that choke. I don't think we see that again. And I think Robertson struggles with strikers, which Pollyanna can do both. And that was the big thing for me is if Pollyanna just decides just to strike with her, she's gonna knock her out. She's got some fucking hands. So I'm on the dog.
So, I like both of these girls too. Not just because of looks. But I'll say this, Pollyanna is more well-rounded. That's, easy deck. She has fast hands, and she's on her own little, is she a black belt? I don't know if
Sure.
she's, I don't think she's the degree of black belt as Robertson. I think Robinson's one of the more dangerous grapplers in the division.
Well, pure grappling, yeah, she's
Yes, pure
probably
grappling.
top three.
Her takedowns are improving, her straight shots are improving, but I don't see Jillian, and she's in her backyard. I don't see her, wasting time. I think she's gonna try to close the distance, either from a body lock or a lazy ass single leg. Which one thing I will say, both fighters takedown defense aren't the greatest, but here's the thing: though, they don't mind being on the ground. That's why they're like, okay, you're gonna take me down. You better mind your p's and q's, or I'm gonna catch something. I think there's a live chance if Jillian doesn't get a finish within the first round and a half, I think Pollyanna can tire her out and potentially get a late finish. But I'm going Jillian. I think she's live for another rear naked choke, one of her signature moves. Because I think if she gets the hooks in early, especially when they're dry, you're not getting her off you. And one thing I will say, she's another sneaky GPP play because if she gets to takedown, she's not laying on you. She's punching you, trying to open up windows, and then she goes for the attack.
I'm actually
Outside.
kind of surprised you're not going with Viana for a few reasons.
Okay.
Um, Aside from the striking, the grappling is pretty close. But you know who Viana trains with, right?
I know she trains a little. It
She's
depends.
at
If you're talking about the Lima camp, I know Oliveira's there.
she's at Shoot Box with
And
all
then
of
I
the
know
grapplers.
before she was in Florida for a little bit on and off. I know she trained with Amanda Nunez a little bit, but not too much. But she mainly just stays in, that Diego Lima shooter box.
See, the thing that I hate about Jillian Robertson is you know what you have to what to
Yeah.
expect. She's a one trick pony. She's gonna look for the takedown. And both of these fighters, both ladies have sub 50% takedown defense. They both suck at it. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna go with Viana, who is by far the stronger of the two.
I think this is a sneaky fight for GPP though. I think
Oh,
they're
I do
both going
too.
to be lower owned, and I think the winner's going to smash.
Well, I mean, if Viana wins, she's only 7,100.
Oh
So,
yeah, if Yana wins, I know all. The crazy thing is, all four of her wins are in round one.
and they're all over 100.
Yep. And one thing I'll at least say about Robertson, yeah, she can go a little bit. She has finishes all within the rounds, but her main works between the 1.5 because she has 5 in round two, 1 in round one. So either at 9,100, I think she'll probably get between maybe, let's say it does go round two, maybe she'll have 2 takedowns, a little bit control. She's gonna throw ground and pound to open up to get the submission game. I still think she goes over her tag at 91 in a win. If it's finished within the first 2 rounds, either way, someone's paying their tag off. But yeah, I'm on Robinson though, or Robertson. And I'm not gonna lie, if Pollyanna had better takedown defense, honestly,
Jillian's
I
is
would.
just as bad.
No, but Jillian doesn't mind being on her back though, because
Neither
she
is
can get you in
Pollyanna.
arm bars, she can get you in triangles, and she can get you in a rear naked choke. I think she has like five of them. But if you told me Viana had like insane takedown defense, I would have said Viana's probably my 10 out of 10 dog.
You know what we might see is so there's a couple of ways that this could go. You could
Hmm.
see you could see Jillian grab that um neck, but if
Yep.
she doesn't and they get into a grappling exchange, we could see fucking uh Jillian get her arm snapped.
I could
Pollyanna's
see.
arm bar is fucking gross.
Hmm.
And she's got that triangle arm bar that she can do. I mean, it's going to be a fun fight to watch. It's pretty much going to
Yes,
be it's probably going to be almost pure grappling unless Pollyanna decides to keep it on the feet, but it should be a fun fight.
I agree.
So we are split on that one. I've got the dog in Diana. You have the favorite in Robertson. Next up, we have Siri Seedy, something like that, and
Yeah,
Ramon Taveras. And who you got in this one?
I got CD. Look, they won. He won the first fight in the Contender Series.
Why are they rematching
So
already?
look, so pretty much what happened was it was early exchanges. They were kind of going back and forth. Tavares, he was kind of getting aggressive, like a wannabe Jorge Masvidal, showboating. He hit him with like one good clean shot that like kind of made his nose bleed. Look, maybe he has a soft nose. I don't know. I got a soft nose. I get popped, I bleed. But then CD just, he's the more better striker, well rounded, but he landed a crack shot right on the chin. And when you go, your head goes down and goes, the ref's gonna stop it. But once Tavares hit the back, look at he was wide awake. They tried to say it was early stoppage. And then Tavares' next fight, he redeemed himself, won in like in 20 something seconds.
Yeah, I know he
He
did.
got
I
the
just don't
grappler
understand.
that
I
decided to
don't
strike.
understand why they are giving or having them fight as their first fucking UFC fight
Because in
against each
other
other.
terms, early stoppage. And
It's
then and that's
it's
apparently that's the fight that Tavares called for. I'm like, dude, you primarily train out of a boxing gym. Like nothing against boxing. I love boxing. And I was trying to look, who I could see them training with, and the most well-known name I saw was Austin Lane. Am I jumping them down for Austin Lane? No.
that's all that there is.
But Siri, he trains with Judas Vicious, Mike Malott,
Mike Watt's really all you need to say, given
yeah,
how
and then
good
he
he
trains with
is.
another good Bellator guy, and Aaron Jeffrey, who went through the Contender Series. UFC should have signed him. They missed big on that one, but yeah, I think CD. I think it's gonna be a little bit the same. Maybe the fight goes a little longer, but he's striking sick.
Yeah, I have him as well. I mean, for me, it was a pretty easy pick.
Yep.
It's we see rematches all the time, and sometimes they kind of get a little wonky because for whatever reason, they just try a different fighting style. But I do think that
CD can
CD
grapple.
wins this one.
I've seen him. He
Yeah,
has takedowns in his tools, but CD might just use his range and just show, hey, first fight wasn't no fluke.
that's what he needs to do. But both of us going with the favorite in CD. Next up, we have Charles Jourdain against Sean Woodson. And I already told you who my pick is in this one. I've got the dog. I love Woodson in this fight, especially after how good he looked in his last fight. Um, Jourdain, he's one of the toughest fighters in the UFC. I mean, he can just sit there and bang with anybody. But his problem is his takedown defense is atrocious. And if Woodson does any bit of wrestling, he's going to win this fight with ease. The striking, if it's a pure striking match, it's going to be close. Both guys can bang. Both guys throw a lot of volume. See a lot of blood. It's going to be a good fight of the night potential. But I got the dog.
Well, I told you who one of my favorite dogs was already, and it is Sean Woodson. I honestly feel that the wrong fighter's favored. I think if people are gonna say Jordan should be favored, yes, he has the UFC experience.
It's because it's in Canada and he's
Yeah.
Canadian.
But I think those type of tall, rangy type fighters do give Jordan problems. Because if Jordan can't get inside that range, Woodson's gonna just tee off
It's
from
a
the out.
9 inch reach advantage, 8 or 9 inches. I mean, that's
I
nuts.
don't know how he makes the weight. I know I've seen them like old pictures of him when he used to fight bigger, especially in boxing. He had all that body fat, and now he looks like Skeletor. But hey, one thing I'll say about this fight, usually I look at tall fighters, I'm like, okay, some tall fighters don't know how to use their range. Sean Woodson knows how to use his range.
Yes, he does.
And look, he may not have the most power, but his striking, and one thing I love about his striking, a lot of fighters don't do, they don't go to the body. He goes to your body.
Yeah,
He
it
throws.
slows you down.
I love his striking style. And I hope to God he's low owned. Honestly, I do. I hope
He
he's
should
low
be.
owned.
I mean, Jordan is still a 2-1 favorite.
But yeah, I'm on Woodson, and I think the only way Jordan could win this is either, yeah, I think he needs a finish.
Knockout.
Because like I said, he has decent takedowns of himself, and but Woodson's takedown defense is good as shit. But my only
Well,
worry is maybe if he clips Woodson and maybe he can try to snatch the next standing up, maybe, but and that, or like I said, don't leave. Look, I'm telling fighters right now, don't leave it in the hands of the judges, and especially if you're fighting a Canadian, don't
given
do
how
it.
much shit we've seen, yeah. Yeah, no. So Jordan, he's got decent takedowns. He can wrestle a little bit, but he can't keep people down and he can't grapple for shit. His all of his submissions are guillotines,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not going to be able to. He's not going to be able to put Woodson in a guillotine unless it's an
Like a
attempted
bad
takedown.
takedown.
He just locks it. So both of us going in the with the dog in Shot Woodson. Next up, we've got Brad Katona against Garrett Armfield. You still on Katona?
I am, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was almost close to switching. Because I'll say this, Armfield is the more dangerous fighter in this fight.
I said the same
He-
thing.
Um, the one thing I'll say about Cantona, he's not the most entertaining, but he does win. And he showed a lot of heart and balls in his last fight. Other people saying, "No, he's boring. He's boring." He didn't look boring in his last fight. He was letting his hands go, mixing in takedowns. And honestly, I think that's what he's going to have to do against Armfield because I think Armfield is going to come out early and aggressive. Katona is going to have to try to weather a storm, get back to his wrestling, which he does have wrestling. But I hate how, when wrestlers fall in love with their hands, they think they can strike. Katona, you are a wrestler at heart.
Except that he got destroyed by Wallace Reed and Hunter Azure.
Well, Hunter, I thought Hunter Azure was going to be decent. But, look, that Marab fight, I give him credit. He stayed into the fight. Marab did Terminator shit. Just wrestle dogged him the whole time. I'm not shocked
What
by
he
that.
does to everybody.
He does it to everybody. So I'm gonna disregard that to an extent because that's one fight that and I thought he beat Asher. That fight, I actually rewatched that fight today. I thought he won it. It was a little bit close, but Asher did get, the last takedown towards the end of the fight that could have been the icing on the cake. But I'm on Cantona. I'm not gonna play him because he doesn't score high for shit. But I'll say this is about like a decent confidence level. I'm on Katona to win, but
Yeah, I have Katona as well. Uh, I told a buddy that I don't really like him for this fight. I think it's a dangerous fight. I think it's
it is.
risky. It's pure GPP. Katona, he was out of UFC in 2019. He came back last year. And I mean, he did look good in it, but it was against somebody that is also not in the UFC now. So
Wait, Cody's in the UFC. They brought him in.
is he back?
He has a
Is he
fight lined up somewhere.
does he? Okay, so he's got another fight. So if he loses
Yeah.
that one, that'll
It's
be
probably
cut.
how that fight ended. They say, "Hey, we're giving you one more fight."
That's possible, yeah. I mean, because it was a good fight. No, don't get me wrong. There was 160 significant strikes on both sides, and if he does that, then he's got a chance
And I think
to
Austin Hubbard got
win.
got a fight too in the UFC. They brought him back too.
Interesting. Well, both of us going with the favorite in Brad Katona. Not our most confident pick, but he's probably going to be a lock for some people given Armfield's lack of credentials. All right, we are moving to the main card. We have Arnold Allen against Movsar Evloev. I can't go against Evloev. That's just not possible. It's not a thing. He is one of the most complete fighters in the UFC. He can strike. He's got some of the best grappling and wrestling. I don't see how Allen can win this fight. I really don't. So that said, I'm all over Evloev.
I'll say this right now. Usually you don't see Emelev out of 9K.
No, definitely not.
And when I look, and I don't look, and hopefully he's not gonna be low owned. Maybe I don't know. If he's low owned, I'll be happy, but he's not gonna be low owned. But one thing I will say, people are saying, "Oh, Arnold Allen's takedown defense." I'm like, okay, look at him in his earliest career. He fought Nick Lentz. Nick Lentz took him down with no problem. And there was one more fight. I forget who it
You
was.
don't have to do that. Just go to Allen's resume. Okay, Holloway, striker, Cater, striker, Hooker, striker, Yusuf, striker. They're all strikers. Nobody has
Yep.
even tried
Early in
to.
his career, he fought grapplers. I think that's where he lost.
Well, he didn't know, but not in the
No,
UFC.
not lost, but he came back and beat Lentz, but Lentz had no problem taking him down. And then there was one more fight that he fought a guy.
Well, Mads Burnell took him down 6 times, and
Yeah.
Makar took him down 4 times.
Yep.
And Evloev is about 15 times the fighter of both of them.
So my pick, you know who my pick is. I can't. Nah.
Yeah, it's too
I don't
easy.
even need to say his name.
I like Allen, but
So do I.
I don't understand how 60% of people are on Allen to win this fight.
They think that they're going to stuff the takedown. And then if you look at overall striking credential, Allen's the better overall credential striker. Which I can see a little bit of. If you're telling me, MLF, you're not shooting takedowns, this fight is probably going to be like, eh. But in MMA, I don't even know. Let's say MLF does win. Who's he fight next? The winner of Taporia and Volk?
Got to be a title shot.
But it's hard because I don't think because the UFC wants to market Taporia. Evelev wins.
Taporia is going to smack the shit out of Volkanovski, and I can't believe that's coming
out. I know. I know. We've been saying it ever since knockout. Oh, the crazy thing is he was supposed to be on this card.
Which one?
Saturday. But the fight dropped. And they moved to another date.
Yeah, it's in February now.
Mm-hmm. They were supposed to be in January. Then it got pushed back to February because Volk got his head damn near kicked off shoulder. But yeah, I'm definitely easily Evolve.
No, actually, you know what? You know who you give him? You give him the winner of Rodriguez and T City.
T City. Look, I love T City.
Evlev's going to beat both of them, so it don't matter.
Evolev's good. Look, it's probably if that's the case, you're gonna do Evolev versus Rodriguez. Rodriguez is gonna go on a takedown city, probably get taken down between 6 to 8 times and get laid on the whole time.
Yeah, no matter what, Evloev's coming for the title. So whoever's got it, he's coming for it.
Ortega, I think Ortega's done now, and I hate to say it. I'm an Ortega guy. He's done.
Oh, I don't want T City to be done.
I don't want him to be done either. But
he's actually one of the guys that I like. Unlike Masvidal, who's a fucking douche.
I hate to say, I think unless Ortega comes out and shocks the world, which I would be absolutely electric for.
I think he beats Yair. So
look, if he can get to the fight to ground, Yair's gonna piece him up like a 3-piece in a soda.
Yeah. Well, we'll save that for another day. But I will be. All right. So both of us going in the favorite with. Actually, is he? Yeah, he's still a favorite, right?
Who, Emelov?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, he's a 2-1 favorite. So both of us going with the favorite, Evloev. Next up, we have Chris Curtis against Marc-Andre Barriault. And who you got?
I think this fight has a chance to be fight of the night.
Or it could be extremely fucking boring.
I don't know. I've never really seen Barriault in a boring fight.
No, but we've seen Curtis in a boring fight.
Oh, yeah, Curtis, he'll count. He has no problem counter striking. But Curtis came out and said, "Hey, Barriault, he wants Barriault to stay inside the main circle of the octagon and say, let's trade."
I think it's a horrible idea for Curtis.
Like, the only thing I'll say is, can Curtis find the chin? He could. But I think Barriault's too fast. He does mix in good kicks. And from what I've seen,
his clinch is gross.
Yeah. Elbows, knees.
But Curtis is too, but
Curtis is losing until he's not losing. Like against Halls. Halls was piecing him up until he landed that one. Boop.
See, my thing is he got pieced up by Kelvin Gastelum, and I think Barriault's a better striker than Gastelum.
Oh, easily.
So that's the way
this fight goes to decision, and it's close. You should know the Canadians ain't picking Chris Curtis.
Well, even if it goes to a decision, I think Barriel's going to have at least 30 more strikes than Curtis by the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm all over
Yeah, my pick's
Barriel.
Barrios though.
He's another dog. I mean, he's going to be another really low owned dog because 80% of people are on Chris Curtis.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying Chris Curtis by knockout. I'm like,
The guy
could it
is,
happen? It could. Chris Curtis sneaky, but
is he? He got
uh,
lucky in his fight against Buckley.
he got lucky against Halls, but Halls has no chin.
He was getting his ass whooped by Imavov until that bullshit. He got beat by Gastelum. He got lucky against Buckley. He got smacked by Hermanson in a striking
Hey,
bout.
I like Hermanson, but not his
Um,
next fight though.
he beat Vieira, who's not a striker. He didn't go for fucking takedowns. He beat Allen, which that one is actually pretty impressive. But I mean, he hasn't beaten anybody. He got lucky in the Allen fight. He got lucky in the Buckley fight.
Yeah, lucky in the Halls fight. He was getting teed up against Halls.
I mean, he's just a lucky fighter. I don't think he's gonna get lucky in this one. It takes a lot to knock out Barrios. So both of us going with the dog and Marc Andre Barrios. Next up, we have one of your favorite fighters, Neil Magny, against Mike Malott. And poor Magny is his gatekeeping role has to come
To
to a
an end.
close sometime soon here because he is getting shit on. And I mean, I know he won two fights ago against Phil Rowe, but that was against a lesser fighter.
I
Wasn't
don't think
anything
he won.
impressive. He got, yeah, I don't either, but he got smacked by Ian Gary. He got smacked by Gilbert Burns. It's not a good look. And Mike Malott is one of the up and coming impressive young fighters. This is Mike Malott's fight to lose, but I fully expect him to win in some kind of finish in the first round. Unfortunate for Magny.
Yeah, I can't pick Magny in this fight. It hurts me to say this too, but Superman Mike Malott is a bad boy.
He's scary.
And the crazy thing is, I was actually like looking into like a lot of his stuff. It's not like he had a one major type of an art. He just joined MMA and decided to do both, get into everything. That's the scary thing. And that's the new hybrid of fighter. He got wrestling, he has dangerous jiu-jitsu, and he has power in his hands. I don't. I think it's going to probably be probably some sort of submission again.
Think so?
When was the last time you actually seen like Neil Magny like absolutely knock the hell out? Like most time if he's losing, it's either him getting outpointed, which I don't know. Mike Milan's not gonna outpoint him in a straight striking match, like from range. That's not happening. Um, yeah, takedown, grapple, probably get the hooks in early. He might even pick up Magny over his head, throw him down,
I could definitely see that.
and then once he's down, he's probably gonna get, depending on where he's at, he's probably gonna get his right hook in. Then he's gonna get his left one. He's gonna flatten him out, go deep.
If it hits when it hits the mat, it's over. It's
Yeah,
either
once
going
it
to be
hits the
ground and
mat,
pound
if he gets his
or a sub.
dude, no, it's even worse. If he gets his hooks in, I'm gonna go grab me a new beverage because I know matter of a second he's gonna grab a sub.
The fight's over.
Yep. Next.
So both of us going with the favorite and Mike Malott. Next up, we've got the first of the two title fights. We got Raquel Pennington against Myra Bueno Silva. And, you know, I'm kind of curious to see. I know we're both probably going to be on Bueno Silva, but I'm curious to see what you got to say about it.
I will say this. I think the line should be a tad bit closer. Because I do think because Pennington's experience could help her in this fight.
I think the line should be a lot wider.
You think
Bet the
so?
house, bet the house on Bueno
Oh no,
Silva.
and the crazy thing is like I don't know if Silva's gonna win by finish, by decision. Um, one thing I will say is Pennington takedown defense ain't bad. But the one thing I will say, you know who her main training partner is, right?
Pennington,
Yeah.
her partner.
Keisha Torres, who just had a kid not too long ago. So she's not even back training yet. I don't know what. I know there's other times she's been with, Caitlin Chuchakian and Miranda Maverick. The Maverick one, that's probably going to help, try to prepare her for a similar matchup. But yeah, I'm on Bueno Silva. Her striking's improving. She's had,
Everything's improving, and she's
yeah.
about to have
And
the
she's
title.
undefeated in this division. Their only main losses are Farot and I forget who else she lost to. But
Montana.
oh, De La Rosa? Oh yeah, that was the when she was a weight class down. Now she's up. She's been undefeated.
Oh, actually, she didn't lose that fight. It was a draw, but she should have won it. But yeah, no. Anyways, so I'm on her as well. I actually think that Bueno Silva should probably be like at least a 2-1, if not a 3-1 favorite. Pennington has had a great late, you know,
Resurgence.
resurgence in her career. She's won 5 in a row. She's got some decent wins in there. The problem is she's been relying way too much on her striking, which has gotten better, but she is going to get submitted by Bueno Silva in this fight.
Only thing is like only thing I'm looking into when it comes to building is, do I really want to play both title fights? Because
Yes.
if you honestly think about it, Bueno, even win a win, dude, she doesn't. I haven't seen her score over 100 yet.
She scored over 100 against Landsberg,
Oh,
who's
the one fight,
terrible, but
yeah,
she scored
the one
over
fight.
100.
But besides that, she doesn't really put much output. I don't know. It's gonna see how many builds I do. Like, I'm gonna
No, I
see
mean
about this
if you're
fight.
gonna if you're gonna skip one, it's definitely this one.
Yes.
But the problem that I have in this fight is, though it got overturned, she submitted Holly Holm, who's much better striker and kickboxer than Pennington is. And if this hits the mat, Pennington's fucked.
Yeah. And then apparently they want sometime down the road they're gonna try to set up because originally this fight they were trying to get Juliana Pena for this fight.
Dude, I
Or
want to see her get her face bashed in. I fucking hate her.
yeah, they want to do apparently the only thing I'm worried about is if Silva is trying to look past Pennington. I hate and if it is so, I hate when fighters do that. Just focus on one fight at a time.
I don't think she will. I think she fully knows what she has to gain and lose in this fight.
I think this fight could be boring.
It's definitely possible. It won't be
And
as
my only
boring
worry
as
is I
Thug
don't want to
Rose and Esparza, though. That
well,
fight still pisses me
I
off.
lost years off my life on that fight.
That fight, it still haunts me. God damn it, I hate that fight. Five
I
rounds of absolutely dog dick.
I fell asleep during that fight too. I had to ask someone to call me, wake up for the next fight, but that was terrible. But yeah, I'm on Bueno. Um, people are gonna say, is this a cash fight? What do you think? No, more
No,
GBP?
I don't think so.
Because if anything, you know what Raquel's gonna do. She works in dirty boxing in the clinch, and she likes to hold people on the cage.
Yeah, she's gonna put herself in a trap if she does that Bueno Silva. She's gonna get
I know she's
tripped.
gonna do the same thing what Bueno did to Holly Holm.
Yep.
I don't know
So
how early it's gonna be. It could be one of those like third, fourth rounds where when Pennington does start to slow down and Bueno does jump on the neck. My only worry is if it's that slow pace of a fight, I don't know if she pays off enough to pay off her tag because I think there's gonna be a lot of finishes on this card.
definitely could be.
Yep.
All right, both of us going with the favorite to win the belt, Mayro Bueno Silva. Next up, we have Sean Strickland against Dricus du Plessis. And I will continue to ride the du Plessis train as I have since he got into the UFC, including the fight against Bobby Knuckles that I so happily picked him in. And there is a path for both of these guys to win this fight. I do not think that it sees the judges. There's way too much power coming out of du Plessis. Um, du Plessis is going to have the advantage almost everywhere. The thing that worries me is he does throw a lot of looping shots, and Strickland keeps his hands high and tight, and it's just going to be jabs down the middle. And he absolutely knows that. If du Plessis mixes in his wrestling, Strickland's fucked. Just straight up. There's a
You
reason
know
why
Strickland's primarily a wrestling grappler, right?
Du Plessis has 10 submission wins for a reason. And we have not
But
seen it in the UFC.
who has he really
That,
fought outside the UFC
that
though?
doesn't matter. That should scare everybody.
I'll say right now, before the Plessis made his debut, I didn't watch none of his fights outside. I just saw that like pretty much just highlight bullshit of him being crazy athletic, bigger, stronger, faster than everybody. Strickland, when he first came in, because I believe he was on Dan Henderson's camp, wrestler, grappler.
What do you mean? Not really.
He could
He's never had more than 2 takedowns, or he had 3 once, twice. The rest of them are all he had 4 against Uriah.
one, two, one.
It's all ones and zeros.
I'm
And
saying
then
he's
his
primarily started off as a wrestler.
His very first fight in the UFC back in 2014 was a rear naked in the first round against Robert McDaniel. That's it. It's been nothing. It's been nothing but striking since.
And
So
followed.
he probably don't even know how to fucking grapple anymore.
No, I actually saw something on a press conference. They're like, "Hey, so what do you think about if Drake is decides to shoot?" He's like, "Have you still trained wrestling?" He's like, "Yeah, I still train that boring ass shit."
Dude, he's gonna get himself
And
knocked
then
out.
he said that apparently they actually shook hands on this. They said, "Drakus, me, you, middle of octagon, we're fighting to the death."
If they do that, Sean Strickland is going to literally die.
That's what. And then apparently someone came up afterwards and said, "Hey, do any one of you guys have any future plans? And if you guys keep winning at 85, one of you guys want to fight Pereira again?" I'm like, "Well, Sean Strickland doesn't want to fight him again. He never answered the question." But Drake has said, "If I do my job and I clear out some of the division, I'll gladly fight him." I'm like, "Don't do that."
I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Oh, I wouldn't either as a fan, but
After watching what, if you go to the Dreykus Till fight and you watch that neck crank, dude, that was pure muscle. And I don't think there's anybody that could escape it, except for maybe Volkanovski. I'll give him that.
if I'm
But
going to tap,
that last fight that Dreykus had against Bob Whitaker, I mean, that
I
tells
was
you everything
impressed.
that from if you go back to the which fight was it? I think it was Brunson where he got really tired, his cardio just like evaporated, and compare that to the fight against Whitaker, it's night and day.
I know
His
they said that apparently he got his deviated symptom fixed.
exactly. He had that nose surgery. He can breathe, and his cardio looked phenomenal. And I, Sean Strickland's got good cardio. There's no doubt about it. He can go. He could probably go 10 rounds and be perfectly fine. But a Dreykus with the amount of power that he has, the amount of volume that he throws, and the wrestling that can go that long, that's scary.
So Drake has pretty much did say that he predicts he doesn't think an early finish will happen. He thinks probably within somewhere within the first 3 rounds it will.
Yeah,
And honestly, realistically speaking, I could see it that way because if you telling me he goes to possibly round 4, round 5, then if you see Drake is to Strickland sees that, all right.
good. You never know. Hard to
So,
say.
so your pick
But
is Duplessis.
oh, absolutely.
Me, my
Going
Duplessis. No, but like I said, this fight, look, this is your pick your side fight on either side. If you think Strickland could win, survive the onslaught, Strickland, whoever wins is going to pay off their tag. I will say that right now. I think this fight does not get into the 5th round. I'll be very shocked if it does. I think this fight probably finish under 3.5 by somebody.
I agree. I mean, we could also see, Pereira, Strickland go down like he did against Pereira real fast.
If Strickland doesn't give Duplessis the respect and he just walks into another, I don't. That's one thing I know he did work with Pereira after Pereira knocked him out. I don't know how often he still goes down there, but I know he did during the Izzy fight. But if Pereira is like, "Look, man, don't do that same shit against Drakus because you will get clipped." But yeah, I'm on Duplessis. I know there were some fights I was on him, some fights I wasn't. I think I don't know. You might correct me on this one. I think I picked Duplessis against Brunson, but I did like Brunson as a potential dog play, but
I think so, yeah.
Brunson damn near pulled it off. And then Drake,
Mm.
hey, he had his moments where he touched him, and Drake is like, uh. I'm like, oh shit, he might get him out. And then Drake is like, nah, bro, I'm Drake's Duplessis.
It's pretty accurate.
And then I was curious. I'm like, look, if he gets by Bobby Knuckles, then I'm 100%
Nope,
sold.
I said it that I said it then when I brought it up and pretty sure he was on both podcasts. When Dreykus got his nose surgery, I said, watch what happens. I picked Dreykus and he just smacked the shit out of him.
I think I picked. I had to pick Bob. I don't pick. I usually don't pick against Bobby Knuckles.
You
So
didn't.
there's some
I
fighters
was
I
one
don't
of
pick
I
against.
was one of the only people that was on Dreykus, and I said, watch you fuckers.
Look, I just can't pick. There's just some fighters I can't do it.
Not only it wasn't only that he just beat Bob Whitaker, he knocked him out.
Yeah, he teed off on him, and then he just it out. It was impressive. And once I saw that, I'm like, and I think I was before the Izzy fight. I was like, we might see the new middleweight champ soon.
We will.
Yeah,
All right, I
on
told you that
Saturday.
fights ago that Dreykus was going to be there, and here we go. Same thing with Topuria.
Oh,
So
I
both,
was already sold him Taporia. I wasn't worried about the Taporia shit.
I know, both of us are going with the favorite in Dreykus Duplessis. No matter what, we're going to see one belt go make a change because it's vacant, and the other one will hopefully make a change because we're both on Duplessis. So that wraps up this card. And man, I'm really excited for this card. This should be a lot of fun. The only thing that sucks is that it's on Saturday and the Packers play on Saturday night. So
Hey, you better go screen.
yeah, right. So I think we can both just go ahead and lock in the same dog because we're both super high on Woodson. I don't think
Yep.
we need any changes. So we'll lock them in. I'm also going to be really high on Viana. Those are my two big dogs this week.
That's the fight I'm gonna try to move around because I do want. I think whoever wins that fight is gonna score in the hundreds.
It's definitely possible.
And that fight I think is gonna be lower owned because I think more people are gonna might be on Viana because of the salary save because the dogs a little bit. I
You know,
think Robinson's gonna be more of a
I
low
th
owned.
what I'm afraid of is we're going to see Woodson at like 40% owned and Viana somewhere around 25 to 30.
Oh, that would piss me off about Woodson.
Well, it's because there's not really, I mean, if you look at it, the amount of dogs that aren't there. I mean, I guess there's people that are on Patterson and
He's on my hand. He's on my hand build for now, but I got to see how I'm. Would I be mad if I don't have him in? No, because there's a chance I think the fight could extend a little bit, and Patterson could try to play it safe until later round, and then barely score over 80. But if he gets a finish like I'm expecting, I think Patterson could at least score in the 90s and pay it off.
it's definitely a possibility. So next week is another off week, unfortunately. I know.
Already?
Yeah. And then it returns February 3rd, and that will be Roman Dolidze against Nasruddin Imavov. I'm
Roman.
staying on that Dolidze train.
Yep.
Hopefully his girl's in the corner.
Dude, you know what's
Is he
crazy
still
about that
is he
though?
still dating Cheyenne?
I don't know. So I know. So Cheyenne had the kid, but on her social media stuff, it made it look obvious. Like she didn't say, I didn't see nothing with Roman in it. I saw nothing with anything else in it.
She didn't go back to JP, did she?
She, man, damn, that'd be a downgrade. Shit. I don't think so.
Hope not. He's terrible.
I don't even know where the hell he's at. I know
Anyways,
he's on the UFC, but
well, that wraps up this card. We'll see you in 2 weeks. As always, we appreciate you watching.